Good morning, and welcome to another exciting edition of Day 4 with the man Frank SCALISH as we approach our quest to make it to 200. Day 4 with Frank SCALISH. We are officially we're at 196 now, Frank, which means we have 4 more weeks. So next week will be a recorded show. So then 3, 2, 1. Wait, 3. This would have been ideal to do before the show. How are you? I'm glad to see you made it back home from the Classic. Is it April 24th where that's going to happen?
Maybe.
Somewhere around there. Anyway, we might have to expand it or extrapolate it out a little just so we can have like a real blowout show for number 200. Anyway, that was a long drive for you. And it was great to see you last week at the Bassmaster Classic in Fort Worth, Texas.
Dude, it was fabulous to see you and Courtney, and a huge appreciation for you guys shuffling us around.
Well, that was all her.
That was fabulous.
I feel like you didn't even see the big truck once. It was all Bronco.
Oh yeah, it was all the Bronco. It's a good color too. I like that.
Yeah, well, she's had that for a while now. Almost went with like a heritage blue. That had like a white grill, but she said, too far from the beach for that color, so went with like whatever. But yeah, no, 100%. Great food, great time. I'll tell you what, I'm a little biased since Court lives down there and I spend a lot of time down there, but an amazing city from an entertainment standpoint to host the Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was thinking Dallas and losing my marbles.
No.
I'm like, this is going to be impossible. But Fort Worth is manageable as could be. And the thing that I liked about it the most was once you're in the city itself, there's not much traffic. Like I was literally expecting stop and go, pain in the ass everywhere you go, but it wasn't like that at all. The other thing that was kind of cool, no shortage of great restaurants.
Yeah.
There is a big shout out. I got to give a super shout out to Mike at Riata Restaurant. If you ever get in the Fort Worth area, that's a fabulous place to go eat. And then I didn't realize this because this is how stupid I am.
Dude, this is a full circle moment that happened while we were eating at Riata.
100%. So here goes. So I have,
because I said, you got to you got to preface this real quick, Frank. I said, this is a badass restaurant and the dude likes to bass fish too. And supports the fishing community. Like we're going to Riata. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, now tell the story. So that's what you knew going in.
That's all I knew going in was that he was a fan of the fishing sport and he owned a restaurant. And that's all I knew. And then I walk in and I'm like such an idiot. He was like one of the first locker rooms that I ever did.
Yeah.
And I was
like diehard fan of the game.
100%. And I was literally like, I'm looking at him. And he walks up to me, he goes, yeah, dude, we did a coaching session together. And I'm like, oh my God, you're the first one I ever did.
Yeah. I would love to go back and get that footage from that.
Yeah, that was wild. I mean, it was wild.
I'm sure Jeffries has it.
I'm gonna coach again. So if you guys are interested, just DM me and we'll go through the details. But,
yeah, I want nothing to do with that this time. No. I've never had anything to do with it. Like Mark did it before.
It's so difficult. The more people that get involved, the more difficult it is because it's a scheduling nightmare.
I'm sure we could get Mark, not Mark. I know everything he does when it comes to this now. I'm sure we could get it set up to where you could just work it through Venmo, PayPal, whatever.
Yeah, that's how I have it.
And then you could handle it.
That's how I have it.
Yeah.
Because it's too legit. It's hard enough to schedule. This is what I found out right off the rip. It's hard to schedule my time, the angler's time, and then another person's time. AKA at the time it was Mark.
Yeah.
It's impossible because you're trying to get, 3 people on the same. So I just said, you know what? I'm just going to do it myself. I'll Zoom it. It'll be great. Blah, 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 blah.
Today, anyway, there's really no theme. We're bloviating about the Bassmaster Classic. We're talking about that. We're talking about what we saw. We've got big news from St. Jude. We've got, we're going to talk about the meet and greets. We got a pile of stuff that the listeners and viewers brought us. And then we also have some news on a new Frank color coming out. Is that right?
Yes.
Did I nail today?
You right on the money. Bullet points. Okay. I could label the bullet points. Hey, how about our fan show out? Was that fabulous?
Your fan show out, dude? Like literally, I got a text, and this is the second year in a row that Frankie was like, "Hey, they're lined up, and it's 45 minutes before Frank's supposed to be here, so they started early. You started early signing. Signing here. I've got the. What did
you have the speed on?
Yeah, right here.
Money, dude. I have some, but they're in the basement. I'm not
okay. Them. I don't know how we're going to do this, but Frankie and Courtney had the foresight to put like a dozen of these things in my backpack for listeners and viewers who were unable to get to the Bassmaster Classic. Now, here's the problem. I've got them. You need to frickin' sign them.
I have about a dozen too. So
so I've got the unsigned. So we can do some signed stuff if you're okay throwing those in the mail. I know you're way better at mailing stuff than I am.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with it. 100%.
Oh, we also have to talk about the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame because you literally, dude, it was badass. Like
I forgot.
You had all of the Hall of Famers in there, KVD, everyone, and like they talked about you and your paint jobs for like 10 minutes up on stage. It was badass. All right, let's get back to this. Most important thing. We'll work on it in order of importance. The most important thing, because we still have to talk about some restaurants and stuff, was
I have a writing
fan. Not fan. I hate the word fan. Like I follow a bunch of stuff. I don't want to be called a fan. I want to be called a listener or a viewer. And especially because all of our listeners and viewers engage with us and interact with us, not a fan.
Let's call them listeners.
Listeners and viewers. They showed out, and it was cool. You look down the line, and it's like all of Frank SCALISH, like BTL apparel, Pradco, Lure Net, people with stuff for you to sign. It wasn't like, hey, there's a line, who's the bald guy? Like they were. I know, I'm serious. They were in line to meet you, Frank, and it was freaking badass.
Nobody said Uncle Fester was here.
Yeah.
That's so. It was great. I was really nervous. You know, Texas is a long way from home, and I was really nervous about the turnout. This is a very big testament to Bass Talk Live. You guys are fantastic, and I probably said it 400 times. Signing lures. If it wasn't for you guys, none of this would be possible. So I have a big thanks. You know. A big thank you to all the viewers and listeners out there. The cool thing was I was really cool. It was really cool to see the amount of truckers and long haulers out there that really listen to the show. And they were talking about like, you know, you when you're doing your maps and you're doing your stuff, we can't see that on the road. Clearly they can't see that on the road. And so they go home. When they get home, they watch it again on YouTube, which I thought was fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yeah. You were signing a one-of-a-kind, one-off lure and color that will never be available again. Run through what that is, and I will.
Those are never be available again. Those are the 4 words that I hate the most.
It seems to be a theme with some of the stuff you paint, Frank.
Yeah, those are the 4 words. We
could have a you know what chaps my ass version of BTL one time, and it would be like amazing colors that will never return because they were a one-off and they should be in the rotation.
Yeah, because
that's
how do you
say
know
that? Not Frank, by the way. I don't want you're going to get a call after the show because you know they're listening.
Oh, no.
I'll say it, Frank. There's a couple colors that they need to be in the rotation.
No, dude, I say it all the time. I say it all the time. I'm like the first words that come out of my mouth is, yeah, those should be in the catalog.
Yeah, catalog.
Every single time we do anything, I'm like, those should be in the catalog.
All right, here we go. Walk it through all.
Okay, so that's called crackle bone, and what I did was I pearled the bone two ways. On the back, I've got blue pearl that bleeds into a purple pearl, and it's semi-transparent with silver scales, and then the belly is also a pale bone with the purple pearl on the belly.
Oh, I hit it right there.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. And so, yeah, it's really a cool color. That color in dirty water will almost look bright white. It's really cool. It's really a cool color.
Comes with the lure net. Congratulations. You now have a limited edition lure that has been hand painted in the lure net paint shop. You're now part of the, I've never read this. You're now part of the select few who are taking their angling to the next level.
That's outstanding. You know, I have to give a personal shout out, if you don't mind.
Oh, I've got personal shout outs out the wazoo today.
Okay, so there's a gal that works at Pradco, and her name is Maria. And Maria paints what I give. I give them the paint job, and then she has to translate it so the custom painters that paint the lures can paint them. And the first time I ever met her in person was the last week at the Classic. That's the first time I ever met her in person. She's a beautiful lady and as nice as they get. And we wound up talking about paints and pearls and colors, et cetera, et cetera. And it's the first time I met her. I was really happy to do so. One of the nicest people on earth, and a very.
Can we get her on BTL?
Lady. I probably can.
Why can we not get her on BTL and let you guys go at it when it comes to painting, and she can go through how she translates your paint colors and then what she does to make it happen and what makes it unique? Like, you want some behind the scenes stuff, man. That's some behind the scenes stuff.
I can get her on the show. And here's the funny thing. Okay. The first she says, "Oh, Mr. Frank," and she was very nervous, which was cute as could be. She's like, "Mr. Frank, I'm so happy to, finally get to meet you and everything." And I go, the first words out of my mouth were, "You must hate my guts." And she's like, no. And so, so we talked a lot about the intricacies of the paint. And her job is really difficult because she has to duplicate what I give her, but she has to do it with the paints and stuff that they're using, which are not the same that I'm using, and mine have different properties. And so we talked a little bit about how to make her paint behave like my paint, et cetera, et cetera. So it was really cool. Maria, it was great to meet you. I hope for some crazy reason that you see this show. Well, because it was a pleasure.
Well, yeah, we got to get her on the show.
Yeah, that's smart. I can't believe I didn't think of that, man. I'm falling asleep at the switch.
Yeah, no. So a couple years ago, we did like the getting into painting or tying or whatever it is. Yeah. I think that might have been part of the catalyst for Juice's jigs to get started. Wasn't it? Was watching the show, I think. I don't know. Anyway, long story short.
Possibility. Who knows?
Long story short, that might not be bad too. I know, but at the time we're, kind of promoting the Pradco lure net blanks.
Correct.
But that might not be bad to kind of revisit that, because I know that there were a lot of viewers who kind of got into painting from that, even if it wasn't, 18 levels deep like you are. It's just satisfying to go catch something on something that you put a little paint on.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I had guys, I had viewers at the Classic come up to me with paint questions, and one guy even said, I can't paint. I'm no good at it. I'll give you my airbrush. And to which I started laughing, because I appreciate that, but I definitely don't need another airbrush.
All right. Let's get into the show and tell portion, Frank.
Let's do it.
Trey was super pumped to meet you.
Yeah.
And brought gifts.
Oh yeah. So Trey,
and his family.
is it Ziegler or Zegler?
Seeger, Zegler,
Segler.
SEG. Is it L or U?
L.
Oh, okay.
I guess he makes these.
I thought it was. No, I don't know. I thought it was Seeger. Seguer.
No, it's Ler.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're just gonna say Trey. We're gonna keep it easy.
I'm good with that. I just wanted to get it right for him.
But yeah, so he brought his whole family with him, great family, and he came bearing gifts, which was to my surprise.
It's L.
And he makes his own glide baits, and it goes underneath the name Lightning Strike Lures. Oh, let me get my fat thumb out of there. Lightning Strike Lures, and he brought me a glide. Now he admitted freely that he doesn't paint, and this is a photo finish.
Yeah, that's the I think they're called crank wraps.
Yeah, so that's the photo finish. I got gizzard shad, which is cool.
Yeah, and I got black shad.
Yeah, show the black shad. You look at that.
Also cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I gotta give Trey and his family a huge shout out because
this whole family's there. Then you got the old school hair tail, and I got the silicone tail. And if you actually look in the tail, he poured that, and if you look at its lightning strike lure, see the lightning strike that's in the tail.
Oh yeah, it's sweet. Yeah, I got it. Mine is a brush tail.
Yeah.
So I could paint with it.
Now, long story short, neither of us have had these in the water. And what I told him was, I said, I'm going to have, so he also has the top part so you can like pull it out and determine how. I was like, well, I'm going to have a tough time getting this wet. You know what I mean? Like, because look, he did like a handwritten note in there. Same thing for you. Same thing on the deal, like for BTL. And I'm like, I want these
up.
I want this in my studio, right?
Yeah, mine's gonna probably be right by the underneath the deer head or hanging.
Yeah, don't tell him. Don't tell Trey that. He wants you to throw it.
All right, I'll throw it a few times. Then hang it up.
He's like, dude. He's like, bang this thing off docks, chuck it, catch striper on it.
Hey, if I'm casting it, it's gonna definitely hit a few things.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna.
Anyway,
but it was a great classic. I mean, I got to go to the Lucky Lure booth and see Juice's jigs and everything.
Sold the 500 at $25 a pop.
Yeah, I mean it was good, man. It was really good. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't buy anything. I bought one thing at the classic. One.
What'd you get?
One lure, one thing. Period.
Can you say what it is?
Yeah. I bought a Willie Pete's glide bait.
Okay.
I never threw a glide.
So you are loaded with glides now.
Yeah. So I bought
got the Lightning Strike. You got the Willie Pete.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Okay, I have a buddy of mine, a good friend of mine, who's like I would say a glide bait aficionado, but I'm gonna say more like a glide bait addiction. And
what's the difference?
Well, the addiction is I don't think he can help himself. The first thing I ran into Jeff at the classic, and the first thing he did, he had like a freaking garbage bag full of glides. And I'm like, dude, are you out of your ever loving mind? If you guys know how expensive these glide baits are, he literally had it looked like he went to the grocery store and had a bag full of them. I'm not like that because I never threw them before, so I want to start out on a very slow, even keel because I can't justify it yet. But the Willie Pete's, I like Brent's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
He's military. My two sons are military. I just like the whole backstory, and so I heard a lot of chatter about it.
He was, when I caught the 10 at Arbuckle in the tournament.
Yeah, he was telling me the story.
That was him who was going, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. and he was the one who was on the other side of the point that was scoping the fish that was about to eat my bait.
Yeah, and then you caught it. He told
Yeah.
me that. Yeah, he was telling me the story, and my jaw dropped because I'm like, "You're the dude with Matt," and he goes, "Yeah, that was me."
How about that?
Yeah, so I
He
was
took it like a. I mean, he was very positive about that experience. I mean, it was just totally random, right? Like, I mean, it just as easily could have been me watching him catch the 10.
well, yeah. I mean, think about it. If you're both spitting out 90 feet, you got 180 feet between you two. You know what I mean? And you both could see the fish. But yeah, it was really cool.
My finger live.
Yeah, good luck with that, dude. I'm not mine. Mine's not even attempting to go back in the bag while we're on air.
Yeah.
So I had to give a shout out to Brent because I heard about his glides, the Willie Pete's, from my buddy Jeff.
And, that's really cool. I mean, you get guys like Trey, Brett, you get all these dudes that like
fabulous,
and you know how much time it takes and how 90% of the people who purchase that product truly appreciate it or are gifted it or get it. Like, I mean, one of the cool things that I thought that we saw while we're on the topic of glides is Steve Kennedy roaming around the Classic with a with a 5-gallon bucket of random glide baits.
Yeah, he had the Flow bucket. It was Flow's blue bucket.
He came to the expo that day literally to get a Progressive bucket with the picture of like Flow, like Flow from Progressive, the bundle chick with the red lipstick and the white apron. So he wanted that bucket, and then there were probably 20 random glide baits in it, and he's just standing by himself in his blue Tiger jersey with a blue bucket, and he goes, "Oh, Frank, how's it going?"
It was great. He's such a character too,
dude. I mean, what a good dude.
He's such a good guy. He just doesn't give a crap about nothing.
No, what a good dude. I said, I got to get him back on BTL soon like that. But he had that.
Dude, I have a story with him.
Yeah, hit us with the story. I'm gonna try to find this video of him that we can play, but hit us with the story, Frank.
Okay, so we're on Clear Lake. First time I've ever been on Clear Lake in my life, and it was an absolute freak show. Okay. I've never seen bass that big. I couldn't tell you how big the ones I was seeing were because I've never even remotely seen a bass that big. I know I had one on. I had him to the boat. And then he got me back wrapped around the dock poles for the second time, and then I finally broke him off. The guy that was in the boat with me lived on Clear Lake, and he swore to God up and down that it was 13 or 14 pound bass. I said I cannot confirm nor deny because I have no earthly idea how big it was because I'd never seen one that big. So I said, you know what's crazy? He goes, "What's that?" And I go, "I have 3 more on beds equally as big as that, and one maybe not quite as big." So I said, "Let's go get her. Let's go get them." So we go get them, and Kevin Worth was on them. And so I was bummed out because I thought they were safe because they were pretty good ways offshore. One of them was actually on a metal object, and I don't know what the object was, but it was like it could have been like an old appliance or something that was in the water. But anyway,
the old refrigerator pattern.
Yeah, the old refridge pattern. So anyway, so Worth is on him. So I'm like, "Dude, did you catch him?" And he goes, I lost the first 2. I got the third one. I go, "How big's the one you got?" He goes, 11 pounds.
Oh, yeah. I think you've told that story.
Yeah, I did. So anyway, so Kennedy was in the tournament. So there's a thing that happens on the Great Lakes with the smallmouth in the spring is they'll gravitate to the marina mouths in the spring. All right. And I didn't know. I said, I wonder if the largemouth do the same thing because Clear Lake's makeup is pretty bullish. It's not there is structure stuff there, but it's basically bowlish grass surrounding the bowl, and then you've got a couple of marinas cut out. So I go to this marina mouth the first day of practice. There is not a fish there. I'm fishing it. I'm looking. I'm fishing. I'm looking. There ain't a fish there. So I kind of wrote it off. I'm like, well, maybe these largemouth don't do this. You know, the smallmouth do. Maybe the largemouth don't do it. I write it off. Anyway, clearly a day and a half later, there was 5,000 bass in that marina mouth. Okay. And Kennedy's in there. And I don't remember exactly what he was fishing. It might have been a mission fish or some big giant swim bait. And he's catching them. And if you in California, if you catch a fish on the outside of the mouth, you have to let it go. That's just the way it goes. Okay. And he's chucking back 9 and 10 pounders because they're swiping at the bait and they're getting stuck on the cheek and the side of the face, and he's got to throw them all back. And he didn't even care. Got to go back. So this is Clear Lake. So I don't know this is going down. Like, I have no idea this is going down. And I'm doing my typical 20 pounds a day. Thinking that I'm going to be right in the middle. I can fight my way up with a couple of good bites. I have no clue. I am clueless of what's really happening on this lake. And then I'm coming up to the weigh-in and I see guys going like that, 5, 5. And then the guy that's handing out
California law.
The guy that's handing out the bags is giving these guys 5 bags. And I'm like, what the hell are these guys doing getting all these bags? They come to me and I go 1. You know what I mean? I want 1 bag. And I plop my, 20 pounds in the bag. And I find out while I'm waiting in line that I guess if you've got bass over, I don't know, 6 pounds or whatever the poundage is, you got to have a separate bag for all of them. And when I found that out in the line, I got sick to my stomach. I'm like, oh my God, I am going nowhere in this event. I am literally going nowhere. And so,
oh my God,
I go to get up on stage, and one of the bass officials goes, "SCALISH, what do you got?" And I said, 20 pounds. He goes, "Yeah, you're going to get about 2.5 seconds on stage." I went, "What?" He goes, "Oh yeah, if you don't have at least 40 pounds, they ain't even going to talk to you." I'm like, what? And that was the truth, dude. 35 pounds and better, you got stage time. Anything under 35 pounds, you didn't even get a pat on the back. So needless to say, it was a tournament where I weighed in like close to 40 pounds and finished like 78th.
It happens. So obviously, Kennedy's been known for the swim baits, the big soft swim baits. He hasn't thrown the glide, but if you notice, it went away, but like there just wasn't much chatter about Kennedy and the swim baits for a couple years.
Right.
Then I think it was last year, had a camera in his boat and they were on a spotted bass fishery that was tough. And he was throwing whichever ones he had in the bucket that he was
I don't remember
trade with
the
Oliver
name.
and I. Anyway, this kind of thrust Kennedy back into the spotlight of the glide game, right?
Yeah.
So have you seen this clip?
No.
You haven't seen it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Watch this clip. There should be audio on it.
Are you? Oh, Almighty! It's a big one.
Watch what's following.
No doubt about it. It's a big one. Oh, I may have 2. Look at all of them. Look at that.
Oh, for God's sake, dude.
Are you against the bank? See all of those. Come on, baby.
I feel it right now.
Look at
I mean, were there 7 or 8? I thought I had 2 there at one point.
Oh my
Isn't that badass?
That is so good.
And that was like where a 2-pounder was just pure gold. The Sneaky Pete glide. That is what he is throwing.
Oh, he was
Thank
throwing.
That was on Smith
Lake.
Lake, yeah. And like no, even with forward, like it was a deal where everyone was chucking minnows and stuff at him, and then like that right there, like he saw all the, like those fish would have won him the tournament like easy.
Dude, the one that was following was
they were all like 4+ pound
yeah,
spots,
substantially bigger than the one he landed.
Yeah, so then obviously after that, and then Polynix's been did. There is definitely a glide bait resurgence right now in the tournament scene.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. And I'll be brutally honest, I've never thrown one. Well, I remember them. I don't know who made
Bull shad.
No, they were 3 joints, 2 of them probably 5.5 inches. Real
the Spro one?
No, real thin. Long time ago, they came out with them. They were catching
True
them
tungsten.
No, I don't know. I got them downstairs. No, I have them downstairs. Anyway, I tried those and I just could never get it down. I could never catch them on it. And I have probably 10 of them. Because I thought, oh my God, these will kill the smallmouth. I got to get perch colors and all this crap.
They might. I also got Cody Steckel, Badass Richardson 112 hat. So he fished the opens like 1 year, big BTL day 4 listener, and just straight up like out of the West Coast and just smoked. He dang near made the Elite Series in his very first season. Like he emailed for like advice and stuff on like what he thought, and then he just went out and just dummied the majority of the field. had a couple rough goes of it, which is why he didn't make the elites. But he brought a hat, which I appreciate, which I'll put next to Gleason's hat and Clunn's hat and Matt Becker's hat. I'm trying to get the Signature Series hats.
Yeah, that's sweet, dude. That's sweet.
Yeah.
So it was a good classic. Got to see a lot of old friends and hang out with them for a little bit. Hung out with Jonathan and Kevin, which was really, really fun because we haven't all the 3 of us haven't been in the same room together in quite a while. And actually we were at Luke Duncan's party and Jonathan calls. He goes, "Where the heck you at, man? KVD just bought another round and
no, you can't turn that down."
Nah, so I said, that's why I ran up to you guys. I said, I'm gonna Uber back.
Yeah, I mean, you were there for the majority of the night. I mean, the thing
oh yeah,
kind of shut down fairly early anyway. So
yeah, we got there so early, which we thought was early, but it was still packed.
No, that was fun. We had it, like I said, we had a great time, great food. Yeah, if you're in Fort Worth, check out Riata. Michael. You're supporting fishing and a restaurant. It's an old school Texas style. Like we had the buffalo ribeye.
Oh, dude!
Big shout out to Trailer Rick, who's on the show. Trailer Rick pulled through.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that had a great dude. He
Marine Master.
So like I know, but so I think Trailer Rick was a little nervous when he was on the show because he is hilarious. Like he wasn't not hilarious on the show. But I think he was a little nervous because
he was nervous.
You get him with, what was it, a double neat, something that wasn't even on the menu.
Yeah, Rick, if you're there, text it. Put it up on the message.
Dude, he is a character.
Oh, he's funnier than shit. I mean, him and I got along famously from day one.
Yep, I could 100% see that.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and here, I'll be honest with you, the last 2 classics, we couldn't even hang out together. He had stuff to do. I had stuff to do. We barely spent 10 minutes at a time together. And I said, this year we got to change that. Yeah, there he is. 1920 double neat. And so
it was very impressive.
Yeah. So this year we got to hang out quite a bit and it was a blast, man. I laughed my ass off, dude, the whole time. It was so much fun. It really was a good time. Frankie loves this crap.
Yeah, that was cool that you guys got to that you guys get to hang out and do that. A lot of people, in the lineup to beat you. Hey, Frankie Jr.
Oh yeah, I know.
He was taking pictures and signed autographs too.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was just a lot of fun. And it's like there's two parts to this. Okay, there's the grind part, because there is a grind to it.
Mhm.
And then there's the part that just happens so generically that is so much fun. And that's what I look forward to. The fans are great. I mean, listeners and viewers are great. You know, it's always fun to see the people that I work for there, because they sometimes they're as surprised as I am. That Trailer Rick is still recovering. He's at Red Crest, I think now. Or
I thought he
somewhere.
had to be. I thought said he had to do like a Miami yacht show or something for a week
Hell.
in between there and Red Crest.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
That's why I was working on his tan.
Yeah. Yeah, he literally got home. He spent one day at home and had to hit the road again.
Yeah.
I don't miss those days one bit.
All right. This has absolutely nothing to do with Pradco, with Lurenet, with anything. I do this once a year. There's over 200 people watching on, and I don't personally ask listeners, the viewers, to do much, with that. But
No, you don't actually.
today, the Bass Talk Live apparel store opened, and the link is in the YouTube description for this show. You can also go to basstalklive.com and click on Shop BTL. And when you open it up, this is what you see. And when you scroll down, right here is a St. Jude fundraiser. We also just have some basics. This is all just if you want to get some BTL apparel, basic heavyweight hoodie, basic t-shirt, Richardson 112, and then there's a new hat here that with a PVC circle patch on a Richardson 112. If you're looking for a new BTL hat, there's 100 of these. I had to buy the patches beforehand. That profit goes to me.
Perfect.
And Bass Talk Live. However, this St. Jude fundraiser right here, and these are when they're gone, they're gone. This St. Jude fundraiser t-shirt right here, Bass Fishing Saves Lives. This is the 4th year that we've done it. I fish with Adam Bartuzik at the Dick Hiley St. Jude Bass Classic every year. Skeeter Yamaha's gotten behind it this year. They've donated a boat that'll be raffled off. It's a $25,000 first place. 100 teams. It has raised over $7 million, 100% of that to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. If you know, I talk about it. I've been to St. Jude in Memphis with Fat Cat Newton, with Brian Robinson, who has also done some work for that. I started working with St. Jude's as soon as I took BTL over because I wanted to just add some form of philanthropical interest in it, right? So it was a selfish reason. I think there is a little bit of selfish elements in here too, right? Like I wanted to feel like, hey, I'm doing something good.
Well,
Just so happened that there was the St. Jude Bass Classic that I fished with Adam Bartuzik. I said, hey, this is it. This is a badass cause. And then obviously with what happened with Miles Berghoff and his daughter Riley, who ended up at St. Jude for 7 months. He's fishing the event. Matt Steffen's fishing the event this year. Frankie Jr. is fishing the event this year.
Oh yeah.
Frankie Jr. is fishing the event this year with Juice's Jigs. 100% of these proceeds go to the Dick Hiley St. Jude Bass Classic, to the team of Bart and myself. And then, like I said before, we have a contest to see who can raise the most money. So when you donate this, it goes to our team, which impacts our takeoff draw. So it's a beautiful thing that they did, right? So for the 2 days of the tournament, if you raised, if you were 8th, you get to take off 8th both days. If you were 30th, you take off 30th both days. But if you're in the top 10, it keeps your takeoff draw the same each day. So we've got all these guys who are, for selfish reasons, raising money for it, but then 100% of it goes to St. Jude. So it's a beautiful thing.
Right. It's you have the competition of the race to raise the money, and all the money goes for a great cause.
Yes.
So there's no losers.
Yes. So click on the link in the bio. There are 4 different colors of it. It is a high quality soft cotton t-shirt. The store will be open until April 19th, and then it will close. The way that I do this with ATS Printing is they are doing an awesome job, especially like last year. They open it up for a brief amount of time. Same for the other BTL apparel. But like I said, this is a standalone item here. through the 19th. Then they'll close it. It takes a week and a half for them to print everything then, and then they'll mail it to you. But you know that your donation can go to support St. Jude. Here, I wonder if I can show. Here, let me remove this here 1 second. If I can pull.
Yeah, that'd be smart.
If I can pull up the YouTube. Whoa, this is going to be weird. If I can pull up the YouTube.
Oh, that's
whoa, this is going to be weird. So I can like, whoa, this isn't going to work.
Oh gosh, that's so funny. What were you trying to do?
I don't know. I'm in some sort of like portal. So if you don't, oh my gosh, I have to get rid of this. Oh, because there's still volume on that. Okay, that's why. So I was trying to get to the Dick Hiley St. Jude Bass Classic page. Whew, and we entered a time portal.
It's like poltergeist.
Yeah. So this is what it takes to, if you want to donate directly to St. Jude and not just in the, not just buy a t-shirt, or you can do both, right? You can like go back down here. Kevin Rogers is the GOAT. If you guys know Kevin Rogers, he's like wanted to fish this the last couple years. He's like, I'll just donate if I can't fish it. And he's donated. Like, if the more you know Kevin, the more you know he's a dude. He's a badass dude. So far we have 27 2,080. Now we're shooting for 50K. It says 30, but we have done some other stuff at the Classic and things like that. So this is
raised the ceiling.
Right, but watch this. So like you go to the St. Jude Bass Classic, and then you can do like the leaderboard, right, for our takeoff number. So like this is what we're in the battle for, and all this money goes. Like last year was $800,000. The year before was 1.1 million.
Wow.
And they have, and so like there it is. There's Barton, Pangak, everything support St. Jude. So if you want to just donate, you can donate. That link is also in the description for the show. You can donate anonymously, 20, 50, $100, whatever you want to donate. Or you can do it through the t-shirts, or you can do both. That's
fabulous, dude.
So that is live through the 19th. Like I said, I decided to hammer that point home pretty fast. Sorry to me to take over your show.
Dude, it's our show. I don't look at it as my show. I look at it as our show. That's the truth too.
So, but here's what I would recommend. I think Juice might be making some jigs for it. I would say get your BTL Bass Fishing Saves Lives shirt. There were actually a number of people that were wearing them at the Bradco booth. Get your shirt to support St. Jude, and then buy a jig from Juice once he comes out with it. I'm assuming that's what he's doing. He told me he was. He might not be. And then that can also go to support Frankie and
Juice.
Yeah.
That poor guy's going to have arthritis when he's done with this jig game.
He probably has arthritis.
He'll be like, I can't tie anymore. I am not an animal. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a good cause.
Oh, they're at $5,415 right now.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, they're at $5,400. So here's also then for day 4 news. So I wanted to separate that, keep the St. Jude thing out. Those are kind of the staples of the BTL apparel that will be out. That store is open. We're working on having a store that is permanently open with the basics and then specific drops. So then in May, we will open up a 1 t-shirt and a custom 100. There's 100 hats. Like I said, I had to buy the patches beforehand, so I bought 100 of them, and it is the lily pad. It's just like this Boomer Sooner hat, except it's the lily pads with your signature,
the Punch and Bass.
Yeah, the Punch and Bass thing.
Yeah. And
then we went ahead and did the Structural Element shirt.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so we're doing it.
It'll be badass. So there you go. That's your.
It'll be super.
We're all caught up on that. But if you do, feel free to share that link, to screenshot Bass Fishing Saves Lives t-shirt, to send it out, to get as many people wearing that thing as you can. And I'm a little bit more passionate about it this year, especially with being able to look and, Riley and the whole Berghoff family, they were there for 7. It worked exactly like you would hope it works when you put your money towards an organization or towards something and you're like, okay, I want to know where this is going. Like, is this actually helping?
Right. 100%.
And this is, and it's not sexy to talk about and it doesn't get the best numbers, but it is something that I am definitely passionate about.
Well, but that's good though, because it goes for the right things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It goes to the right things.
Yeah. If you want to fish that tournament, last I heard there were 95 out of 100 boats that were signed up. It is 100 boat max. It is just look up the Dick Hiley St. Jude Bass Classic. There's been numerous BTL listeners who, like last year, I talked to a couple that were like, yeah, we heard about it. We signed up. And once you go to that, you will always come back to it. So
That's
out
what
of
I heard.
Wabasha, Minnesota. Yeah, you'll have to fish it one of these days. Maybe you and Rick should fish it next year.
Me and Trailer Rick.
Yeah.
It sounds interesting.
Yep.
It sounds interesting. We got, speaking about day 4, we have the new color release is going to release April 3rd, Thursday.
Okay. I'll be at Norfolk, so we're going to record this. Can we get a sneak peek?
Yes, we have a sneak peek. It is St. Clair Orange, so it's part of the St. Clair collection. It's St. Clair Orange in a Norman Speed N. This color here, I'm taking it out. This color, this color is bad to the bone, guys and girls. There's the belly shot, side shot, back shot. This is a really good crawfish color. This is, again, this was modeled after an actual crayfish found in Lake St. Clair, but don't dismay because it's a northern strain crayfish above the Mason-Dixon line. They're found in a lot of places, but it's very prevalent in Lake St. Clair. Hence the name St. Clair Craw Orange. that breaks April 3rd, Thursday. And we'll announce it again on the 3rd, but I just want to let you know because I kind of missed the drop last month. I actually forgot to promote it.
But it's still sold out, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it's still sold out, but I forgot to promote it, and that's very unlike me. My OCD does not permit me to rest easily when I forget things. So
and that's in the Speed N, you said?
Yes, the Norman Speed N, which is where I'm living, it's the time is coming up. Probably at the drop, probably give it another week and it'll be right on the money time wise.
Okay, I found it. All right, here's the other thing that was really cool about the Bassmaster Classic was your Legends paint jobs.
Oh, those things. I had, duh.
Yeah. And I've got a photo gallery, look, that is on Bassmaster, from that, of your paint jobs.
Yeah, that's Bruce. He's the master to be.
Look at that. That's like on bat. How freaking cool is that, Frank? Have you seen that gallery?
Yeah, I have never seen the gallery, but that's Maria on the.
Oh, that's Maria who paints your.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's the shadow box that's available. Just talk about that. That was a cool event.
Yeah. So I wound up taking the shadow box. I took the original. I took the original of every lure. So Roland Martin's got the bottom peacock bass. Rick Clun got the greenback gizzard shad. Bill Dance got the threadfin. Larry Nixon got the red craw, and then I believe Bobby Murray got the chartreuse bluegill. And so I took the originals of those, and I decided I was going to put them in a shadow box. But with that shadow box, also All my original illustrations for designing those baits are also included in that shadow box. So it's not it's not just going to be the baits. It's going to be my original illustrations.
That photo needs to be framed in on the wall somewhere. Look at that. That is a freaking cool photo.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
It's very cool.
How did you get their signatures on the side when you did it? Did you actually like trace them or?
No, those were, that's, they put them on there.
Okay, afterwards. So they stamp them on there. I'm sure they get their
I'm not sure how.
signature. They're all bad to the bone. But I will tell you what, the Roland Martin Peacock Bass
is so cool.
Spook. That is going to have to be. I'm going to have to get one of those for my collection as well.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Like those are
cool.
Those are gone like instant. Like those are gone already. Probably there'd be 300 of them.
I don't know. I don't know how many they're making. To be honest with you, I have no idea the number.
But all of the proceeds for that go to the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame.
All of them go right to the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame.
Which is cool because you've got guys that are working for different companies that all get together for this one really project. Cool. Yeah,
it's really super cool.
The Rick Clun Spook looks really nice too.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I have to say, I can't say pick a favorite, but I would say the Rick Clun Gizzard Shad is probably my favorite. And then I can't really pick a favorite.
And this is the shadow box that will be, there's John in the background. This is the shadow box that'll be auctioned off in September. Just Correct. Like you did last year for the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame.
Correct. And remember, the illustrations go with the shadow box.
Oh, we got to meet. I can't believe I remember his name. Who got the shadow box last year? And he was on the show. We had him for the whole show.
Yeah, Joey Mac and Cheese.
Joey Mac and Cheese. Yeah. I don't know why I wanted to say Enchilada Steve.
No.
I don't know why. I knew that wasn't right, but for some reason, that's what came to mind.
So I just got text by a buddy of mine, a really good friend of mine. He's like, you could just tell them that you're fishing with your buddy Troy. And
Troy, yeah, Drunkwood's trying to get in on that as well.
That is so funny, man.
Maybe you should have like a Hunger Games skills competition amongst all of those people who would like to fish with you, and then they could do video submissions.
Maybe we auction. We auction it off so I could get money to give. To
Listen, Frank, I don't know if you want to do that because you're in the boat for 4 consecutive days with that person.
Yeah, it's got to be.
And knowing you would like that to be an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, you got to be with someone you know for sure, without a doubt. Yeah, I don't know. This is all hypothetical, guys. It's all hypothetical at this point. But yeah, it would be fun.
It would be.
Rick, you won that one. If that's what it comes down to.
Any other classic thoughts? Overall classic thoughts. Like I said, we're just kind of BSing today.
I lied.
Okay.
I bought 2 things at the Classic, and I'm not counting beer and food. I bought 2 things at the Classic. I bought the 0 degree mount from the Bass Tank.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I put it on yesterday in 38 degree weather. As soon as the snow melted, I ran out and put it on.
Oh, very cool. Oh, and we also went and hung out with Braden and the guys at Deep Dive for a long time.
And that was a blast too. Those guys. Okay, so here's the thing. They're on a different level.
Yeah.
They're on a completely different level with brain power.
They're nerds.
Yeah, and not the nerdy kind in a bad way.
No, the nerdy kind in like a good way.
Yeah, like in holy crap, how did you think of that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you do that? And then
here's the level. They're able to actualize what like a normal human being like me goes, it would be cool if. So like they have the it would be cool if, and then they like have the mental capability and talent to go do it.
Yeah, and the thing that surprised me the most was he's like, "Oh yeah, that's easy. All we got to do is this, and that." And there, this, and that is terminology that I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, just tell me what buttons to push, bro.
That's hilarious. Devin says this, and I literally have it queued up. We would be remiss if we did not mention that on the 13th, a lot of lure net baits, like official U.S. postage stamps.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, stamp collecting has a new allure for anglers across the nation, and part of the buzz involves classic lures from Pradco Fishing. On March 13th, Springfield, Missouri, the United States Postal Service added freshwater fishing lures to its long history of postage stamps. Rebel Popper and Arbogast Jitterbug, all in there. So you can go to the post office and get stamps now with a Popper or a Jitterbug on it.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I mean, it's pretty sweet. And I think Arbogast is probably one of the oldest companies, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on it. But
dude, growing up like that, so that bottom left, like that exact spinner looks like a number 3.
Yeah,
Meps Aglia.
Yeah, Aglia number 3. Dude, I like the one with the black blade and the yellow polka dots.
Really? I was always either a rainbow trout guy or a silver blade, but that right there has probably, would you not say for a beginning angler that is the best lure you can tie on in any part of the country to catch a fish?
If you're a pond hopper and you don't have an inline spinner, you're out of your ever-loving mind. Because the bass we used to plaster, we used to sneak on the golf course and fish the ponds, and that's all I did. I had the Meps Black Alga number 3 and number 4, and would go out there. It's black with the yellow spots with the squirrel tail. It had the actual squirrel tail fur on it, and just mashed them. And back then, you're a little kid, and you think you're doing something. Back then,
I called Scott from the Bass Tank yesterday, and I said, dude, I got Scott. I said, he's got a Justin Hamner autographed Bass Tank hat. I said, for the last 7 months. I said, you gotta get someone right now to put that in the mail. I said, he does not miss a show. I said, get the man his hat.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
On it.
But so it's
fish obsessed mount.
Yeah, and it was easy. It was easy to put on. It's almost foolproof, to be honest with you.
Now you'll notice on the 0 degree, you're going to suck for the first week or 2.
Yeah, I fished off of it with you when I was down there.
Oh yeah. We already talked about that.
Yeah,
it was a pain in the ass, wasn't it?
At first. But the cool thing about it was when you're on them with that, you are on them. I mean, you don't have to worry about being 3 feet to the right or left. I mean, if you see your bait and that fish, you're on them. So that's the good thing with that.
I wanted to ask a classic question, Frank. So Lee Livesey, pink chatterbait, pink trailer, pink fluke style 6. Did that surprise you that like an off the wall color like that in Texas almost won the damn classic?
No, because the first time I ever went to Sam Rayburn, I was throwing a pink floating zoom worm.
Okay.
It's visibility. They see it. It's bright. I don't necessarily think they see it as pink, but it's bright and they can see it. So no, that didn't surprise me at all. Not at all.
Anything else bait wise or technique wise or how it was won or how it was done
No, I thought it was pretty cool how the two guys, first, second scope, third, fourth traditional. I think if the wind had laid down, I think the scopers might have fared better. But I also think if the weather had cooperated, and when I say weather, I don't mean air temperature. I'm really talking more about the wind. I think
Yeah.
if the wind would have laid down, I think you'd have had an influx of more bass to the bank because it's just that time of year down there. But I also think the scopers would have had a better
Father
advantage.
Gill thought low to mid 80s if it had been calm all day
Yeah.
for all the days. Is Jim with a good question? Does pink show up as gray to a bass?
That, my friend, is above my pay grade. I don't know what they see it as. I just don't know what they see that bubblegum color as. I really don't.
And then who brought the book that you illustrated like
Oh
20
my
years
gosh.
ago? That I was in line and the dude was like, hey, check this out. And I was like, oh my God, that's badass.
Yeah, so to be honest, I don't even remember the year, but it was decades ago. I illustrated a book. Mark Hicks wrote it. It was called Smallmouth Bass. Basically, it's a Great Lakes guide to smallmouth bass fishing. I have two of them. I think my buddy Troy might have one. And I illustrated the book. And of course, I'm in some of the articles of how-to stuff. And I've never seen that book floating around. And this guy randomly in Texas comes up and he's got it. And it was in great condition too. He said he looked for it. He found it on eBay and bought it off of eBay.
That's freaking cool. Do
which
you remember
was
the
super
name of
cool.
it?
The book?
Yeah.
Smallmouth Bass, Great Lakes, Smallmouth Bass by Mark Hicks. It has maps. I drew topographical maps. I drew how to use drift socks in there. There's all kinds of stuff in there. It was really, back in the day, it was super highly informative for the technology that we had out. It had maps showing areas of the lake to go to, at what times of year. It talks about smallmouth behavior, how they
There it is right there. Lake
Yeah,
Erie
there it
Smallmouth
is.
by
That's
Mark
it.
Hicks, illustrated by Frank SCALISH.
Yeah, that's it.
And then you also had some, I think you've talked about this, Hunting Ohio's trophy whitetail. Okay, so this was January 1st, 1999.
Yeah, so I illustrated probably 5 books, I think. Hunting books, fishing books, that kind of thing.
You can buy it used for $7.
Not bad.
I bet you these things are going to be sold out, and whoever's got them is going to be going, what in the hell just happened?
Yeah, no kidding. That's so funny. Yeah, the hunting book it's a whitetail book about how to hunt whitetails, very detailed. Mark, in my opinion, is one of the top outdoor writers out there. I've known him.
I should have ordered mine before I put that there. We'll just take that down. Pretend like it didn't exist.
Pretend nobody saw that. Yeah, pretend no. Well, yeah, when it goes on YouTube, then they'll be gone. Just bought one. Man, you better get busy.
Hey, I got a fishing question, Frank.
All right.
Andrew Williams Fishing asked an hour ago. Uncle Frank, unrelated question. I want to put gold blades on my A-rig to match the perch I'm fishing around, but I don't know what size to put on.
Match the exact size that is on the A-rig. Because what you don't want to do is if the bigger blades you put, the higher the A-rig will rise in the water column. So my suggestion to you, if you want to fish it traditionally, put the same size blades that are on it. If you're going to throw it around like a spinner bait and throw it shallow, which you can do, upsizing them wouldn't hurt, because you could get away with heavier heads because it'll want to climb in the water column. But I would keep the exact same blade sizes on it, because especially if you're throwing a Flash Mob Junior, because it's just so effective. and then change your depth range by changing the weights of the heads.
Should you do like a gold on one side and then like a orange or yellow side on the other, so it looks more perchy, or just stick with gold?
You can just stick with gold. They actually make a gold blade
Devin
die.
will go giant blades and half-ounce heads.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember when that first came out though, dude? Guys were throwing musky rods on, it was half-ounce head on the A rig, the original Poss Alabama rig. I mean the thing was
gigantic. Well, because all they did was
offensive.
they took a saltwater bait and just started throwing it in fresh water at first. And then of course everybody, once they started bass fishing with them, they trimmed them all down and made them all, for bass fishing. Oh, I'm sitting there going, why am I not getting coffee? The lid was closed.
I don't even have a lid, so I'm living dangerously today.
Oh, you are, man.
I found something Ohio related. I was going to show you this. So I was cleaning out my garage, trying to get through, because I fish a crappie tournament on Saturday. So I was making sure I had all my crappie stuff.
You have better communicate with me.
I will. I'm fishing Crappie Fest on Lake Fork. It's my first crappie tournament. Fishing with former Elite Series angler Jared Miller, and if you catch the winning crappie and it's over 3 pounds, which you have a good chance it will be on Lake Fork, $15,000.
Oh man!
Anyway, I was going through it, and this caught my eye. When was the last time you saw an actual cassette? Look at this. The Cincinnati Cobras 2003-2004 junior hockey highlight reel.
Well, dude, that is so funny, but I got to tell you something. So my buddy Troy, I talk about him a lot. We've had him on the show. We should probably have him on again because he's out of his mind. But he used to take those VCR tapes, and we literally had a VCR recorder on the back deck of the boat. I'm talking so long ago you wouldn't even know it. And then he would literally get a couple VCR machines and he would literally edit this stuff down on his own, like just experimentally. And some of the stuff that he did was so funny, man.
Look at that. I forgot I was on it. I was on a history making season.
There you go. That's good.
That was a fun year there. The only thing I hated was the traffic. That's my first year living away from home ever.
Yeah. Where you lived in Cincy? Where'd you live?
Evendale.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there were giant bucks in the backyard. Giant bucks that lived in this neighborhood. I mean, like world record class deer that lived in this neighborhood.
Oh yeah, dude. Unmolested. Ohio's got big bucks. I had one in the yard right before I came to the Classic. Let's see if I could find this. Find a picture of it.
Yeah.
I have.
It's always better to have unmolested deer.
This is an old dude too, man.
Yeah. Now he looks like he may have been molested.
Oh, look at his eye. That thing was a fighter. That thing was a fighter, man.
Yeah.
He did battle.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
All right, you want to wrap it up for today? You got anything else, Frank?
No.
You're all over the map. Thanks for everyone hanging in there with us.
Yeah, we were everywhere. And if you guys want to do some coaching sessions, DM me. We'll go through the details.
How do you DM you? That's just Frank SCALISH on Instagram.
SCALISH_fishing on Instagram. That's the easiest way. We'll figure it out. We'll make it work. No pressure.
Yeah.
Again, thanks to everyone. The Classic was insane. I appreciate everyone showing up that could. Thanks to Pradco. The booth was great. Traffic was good. Deep dive. Bass Tank. Everything. Frankie for being there to help with everything. Because I'll be honest with you, it makes life easier. So thanks to him. Thanks to you and Courtney, Matt, because you guys made it real easy.
Court made it easy. She's literally one of the most organized, best human beings I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, I mean, she is so cool. I mean, nothing phases her. Nothing phases her. That's how I'm going to leave it.
No. Well, I mean, like, her daily job, flight attendant, so she deals with the general public and all that, and then she does high-end hair in Fort Worth and Dallas. So I mean, she's always working with people.
Right. So you have the ability to tune in and tune out.
But she enjoyed the hell out of it. She likes being able to get into this world to see it. There's a lot of good people that we get to hang out with. We had a good time. We had a really good dinner on the first night. We did that flaming bone-in ribeye that we split four ways. The tomahawk that we split 4 ways. Dude, you told some great story. What was that? You told an amazing story at that dinner. It was like a 20-minute story.
Oh, yeah, that was about the boats capsized in Buffalo.
Yeah, that was a freaking badass story.
Yeah.
And then we had the meat and it was all good. So, all right, next week will be a recorded show. I go straight from Lake Fork over to Norfolk Lake for the Bassmaster Open. I'm going to take a new strategy since I finished 100th and 200th in the first 2, Frank. I'm going to show up not even knowing what species of bass live in the lake.
Just show up.
I don't know where the boat ramp is. I don't know if it's clean, dirty. I don't know anything about this lake. Not a single thing.
You should just show up and just go fish.
Like I said, one of the dudes who's in the tournament goes, well, I'm going to try to catch some smallmouth. And I said, there's smallmouth? And that was last week when I found that out. Have no clue. Like beyond, like it is, like my plan of preparation is zero preparation. Avoiding preparation is now the plan of preparation. I will go in unjaded with no preconceived notions, drop the boat in Sunday, and maybe the purity of that will lead me to the winning satchel of bass.
You'll probably fish way better doing it that way. To be honest with you.
I hope so. I hope I'm doing it after catching a 3.5-pound crappie on Lake Fork. Can you imagine that on the 14 with 15 grand on the line and just, there it is. And then we've got the net. You know how big those suckers are. Like, how bad would you be shaking if you knew that thing could be worth $15K?
Yeah, I wouldn't be laughing when we go to bow flip them and they fly off the hand. And then they swim down and we catch them again.
I agree. All right, this has been another Dish of the Day for with the man Frank SCALISH. We'll be back with the recorded show, but we'll be on the same time and the same place. We'll talk to everyone then.